This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. And in Bret's book, he wrote that there's a meeting between Hulk, Vince, and himself the day after King of the Ring. Do you remember that? The three-way meeting? Is this where the conversation happens?
It may have been, and I think it was just, to get to a point, let everybody get along, and let's move this down the road.
Context is king. Let's remember again, Hogan's going to stick around for the European tour. We covered that exhaustively in our WrestleMania 9 show. Go check that out if you want to hear it. But we know that Hogan is not long for this world. He's going to go make Thunder in Paradise. He's going to take a break from wrestling. He's decided he's not having as much fun as he wanted, whatever. But we're also making Bret Hart here. It's the Bret Hart show at King of the Ring, but he's programmed with Jerry Lawler. The reason I bring that up is I think a lot of people assumed, well, the only thing that's keeping Bret out of the title picture is Hulk Hogan, but Yoko's still the champ. He just beat Hogan. So what's next for Yoko? 2.5 weeks after this King of the Ring, Lex Luger steps onto the Intrepid and body slams Yokozuna to launch the Lex Express. He's no longer.
We need a hero. God, man, think about it. We're doing this on the 4th of July.
Yep.
And you're going back 30 years now? 28 years? 28 years ago, on this day, I would have been on the Intrepid 107 degrees on the deck of this magnificent ship. People dropping like flies from heat exhaustion. And we're all down in the underneath in the quarters and all that and laying all this shit out. And Bill Fralick. We got Bill Fralick from the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's from the Atlanta Falcons. Bill was a friend of JR's. But we had some studs there, man. We had some, decent name football players and basketball players and athletes that came and gave it their best shot to try and slam Yokozuna. None of them could do it until, by God, Lex Luger got the call. He was vacationing out on Massapequa Bay, and he rented a helicopter and came on over to try. And thank God he got there in time.
What's Bret's reaction to, I'm out of the title picture, but this new guy you brought in who didn't get over as a heel, he's in it now. He's Captain America.
Bret was Canadian. From Canada. Kind of like the Canadian strap match.
Is that all you're going to give me?
We were moving on, and it was looking at the situation from trying to build multiple baby faces and multiple attractions, and looking at Bret as King of the Ring and working with Lawler. Bret pretty much at that point was made, and trying to make Lex, trying to elevate Lex as best we could.
Context is king. So I just want to add some here for a minute.
No, Bret was king.
Okay. Historically, this has been regarded as a quote unquote babyface territory. The good guy's the champ. For years and years, a lot of other territories worked, like when Ric Flair was the touring NWA champion. He's a heel. And people would come to town. I mean, he would go to town and take on the top babyface. And that's the way we thought we drove business, the babyface chasing. But that's not really the way the WWF did it. It was Hulk Hogan. It was Bruno. It's the babyface champ. And now we're moving away from that. Now it is this mean, nasty Yokozuna from Japan, because that was heat back then, brother. So I get why you would say, well, yeah, then we need an American hero to slay him. That's sort of the formula for wrestling. But why does Yoko need the belt? Did we think that, hey, this is a way to establish, as you said, Lex Luger in that spot, but there's also a way that you could have told that same story without the belt and let it be Bret, unless we just didn't have the faith and confidence in Bret to be our top guy.
Well, originally we were thinking, that Luger could be the guy. Luger could be the guy to beat Yokozuna, and that I don't think that anyone really envisioned Yoko keeping the championship as long as he did.
I'm not arguing
although that was intriguing, and to again clarify, it's when you talk about Ric Flair being the champion and what have you, those were during territorial days where you had a lot of different territories all over the country that didn't have the champion working there every week or every 2 weeks, if you will. The champion came in maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times per year that you had the champion, and you built your baby faces all that time to face the champion, to go the hour Broadway, to push the champion to the limit, to hopefully, get some kind of a return match if you had another date. In New York, that was the territory. So their territory, they always had a babyface champion so that people could get behind their guy and they could root for their guy who was the champion to continue to be the champion and to continue to draw and be that guy. So yeah, this was definitely a departure with Yokozuna. But I think if there was anybody, it was like if you could have had a run with Andre, I would have loved to have had a run with Andre as the champion. Is a heel. How the fuck are you going to beat this giant? And Yoko was in that same mold.
Will you just say in a loud, clear voice here, that you were taking the belt off of Bret because you didn't have confidence in his ability to be the top guy. So you wanted to try and just see what could happen with Lex Luger in the spot.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. I just need you to, and then we can move on but
I'm not going to, because that's not the case. It was, again, you're looking at trying something new, and you built Bret, and now it's an opportunity to build multiple people. Did have confidence in Bret. You don't have to be the champion to be the
fuck off, guy. Bruce. If you had confidence in Bret, you wouldn't have fucked him around with the Hogan finish.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. No, if you had confidence that he was your top guy, you would have moved on.
What?
If you
had confidence in him, we would have just beat him and moved on.
No. So I'm saying, no.
We wouldn't have kept him in a top spot. We wouldn't have continued to push it on. You can have more than one top guy. You can have, you have to have a few top guys and a few attractions.
Not arguing any of that. Go back to the beginning of the WrestleMania formula. Whenever there is a world title shot on the line, the babyface retains. The good guy comes away with the strap. He wins. It's a rah-rah celebration.
So it was a change in philosophy.
I'm with you on that. But my point is, if you really had faith and confidence in Bret, you wouldn't have reverted back to Hogan. And even if you realize the Hogan thing was a mistake, you would have said, you know what? We got to get back to where we were. Let's keep building this guy. We didn't.
The Hogan thing was a short term, and I'm not going to get into the whole fucking goddamn
European tour. Yeah,
European tour, because again, that was a discussion. That was the reason why, and that's what we were doing. And did it work out that way? No, because it wasn't working. But it was always a short term deal. It wasn't we don't have confidence in Bret, let's put it on Hulk. No, it was, let's put it on Hulk. We're going to have this short run. We have a short window with Hulk before he's going to go do Thunder in Paradise. Hopefully we can get him to SummerSlam. But again, that all broke down in the middle.
So
it wasn't a lack of confidence by any stretch of the imagination. If you've got 2 people and you've got one, that again, traditionally has been a proven draw, and you've got another brand new one that you can continue to build, but you've only got a short window for one of those and you've got long-term on the other. Well, if you've got an opportunity to use that star power to get other people over, then use it.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at savewithconrad.com. But Vince McMahon is also facing steroid stuff in this big trial that's happening. And Lawler's not the only guy from Memphis hanging around. Jarrett is as well. This is a chaotic time, 1993. You know, we're trying to find our next champion. We're starting Monday Night Raw. Hogan's finally leaving. Vince is on trial for his life. One of our mainstays, one of our big featured programs is going to come under fire when there's a charge. It's a lot of moving parts here in 93, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging time to say the least. And it was one of those where you hated you hated to answer the phone because you were afraid of what ball was dropping at that point.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.